Hello again, YouTube. I want to talk about anxiety today. As a former neurotic mess for most of my life, I want to talk about what's been working for me lately in kind of stepping outside myself in a way and dropping a lot of that baggage and that anxiety that I've been living with my whole life, really. I say, being autistic, anxiety is all sort of part of the package. Overthinking absolutely every aspect of your life at all times, and usually finding that it just ends up paralysing you. You never end up doing the things you want to do. You're not even sure of what you want to do because you're so concerned with fitting in, acting normal all the time. Yeah, after my little breakdown last year, I'm learning to just let go of all that and just act, stopping myself from overthinking everything and just doing. And to be honest, it's the best I've felt in years. I mean, making that decision to quit my job with a little bit of savings but no backup plan. Try not to get cut up with thorns. Yeah, just walking away from everything. I should be filled with anxiety, but I'm not. Need to pick some better places to walk. At least it's quiet though. Another beautiful day out here in the UK. And yeah, I should be panicked. I should be constantly worrying about the future. I mean, before it would have absolutely paralysed me. But in just letting go and taking action instead of just, I mean, I could sit and I could draw off a list of a million things why I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. An endless list, which is how I've always lived. And then getting the same result of just sitting about doing absolutely nothing, feeling sorry for myself, feeling trapped, suffocated, but without the strength to move forward. And in letting go of all of that, I just feel free for the first time in my life. So once, which it still does, I mean, it's my default to overthink absolutely everything. Use logic to think every situation through, which would always result in me rattling off 1,000 excuses why I shouldn't do something. But lately, I've just been stopping myself in my tracks with all that and just doing. As soon as I get that logic and rational part of my brain kicking in, trying to take over, I just stop it in my tracks and I take the path of action rather than overthinking it. And the relief I feel in doing that is quite profound, for me anyway. The plan is still just go out to Southeast Asia and just wander about, really, completely open to any opportunity, any experiences that come my way. So there's endless excuses why I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, but they're all irrelevant. It's only me that has the power to change that situation, and that's what I intend on doing. And I've been adopting that on all aspects of my life, including making these videos. I never pictured myself doing something like this, and I still have anxiety and fear about doing this, and a lot of imposter syndrome. But again, instead of making excuses why I shouldn't be doing it, I just pick up the camera and do it. So, talking ain't a strength of mine, never has been, probably never will be. I locked myself off from the world for a long time after COVID, just sort of stayed in it. Really, even before COVID, I cut myself off from my old group of friends, my old social network I used to hang around with, because it no longer aligned with how I want to live my life. It was all just sit around, get stoned all day, do other naughty things. And after a few decades of doing that and feeling miserable with doing that, I walked away from all of it. And then COVID happened, the lockdown happened, and I just stayed in it, convinced myself that I didn't need no one. That people were just too difficult to deal with, and I was better off on my own. But I know I was wrong in doing that. I'm very comfortable with my own company, and it is still something I seek out, as I need that bit of alone time to recharge my social battery. But I also need people in my life. And I'm never going to get the right people by constantly playing a character and pretending to be something I'm not. I have a habit of people pleasing people. I'm not even sure if it's that. Being autistic is you're constantly watching what other people are doing and trying to copy them, because your default way of being doesn't really work in society. So you're all consumed with just trying to play a character, really, and carry a certain amount of shame for just being you, which is a very sad state to find yourself in. And again, it's been my default most of my life. And I've made a promise to myself to stop doing that. Stop trying to copy everyone else and just be me. Live a life that makes sense to me, that I'm proud of, and have a bit of self-respect for myself, really. Because that is something that has been severely lacking in my life for a long time. And yeah, with the anxiety, all I've been doing is making a conscious effort to stop overthinking everything. Again, it's still a default of mine. When I think of something to do, everything has to be perfect. I just overthink myself into paralysis and end up stuck. And now what I'm doing is as soon as I start to do that, I just stop and just do it, take the action. Including making this video today and waffling on, as it's not completely apparent at the moment. I'm not very good at this. But I'm just going to do it anyway. And I hope in doing that, because I ain't just being autistic. I think a lot of people are stuck in that loop nowadays. Constantly comparing yourself to social media, fake lives, seeing all the snapshots of people's best moments, and stepping back and having a look at your own life and thinking, well, that's not even close. I know for me, I've spent so many hours watching YouTube, which is my inspiration for doing this. And what it really boils down to is people actually just having the courage to go out and do it. So I watch a lot of travel vloggers. I could never picture myself doing it, not in a million years. Even just walking along talking to this camera today still fills me with, again, a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of dread, embarrassment, maybe a bit of shame. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because what have I got to lose? What you doing, buddy? Say hello to YouTube. You're really holding on, aren't you? Find yourself a leaf to go on, preferably not a stinging nettle. Go on. Off you go, mate. You don't want to be on me. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of simple advice, really. Don't think about it, just do it, deal with the consequences afterwards. It seems absolutely insane, I know, but I'm the happiest I've been in a long time, since I can remember. And it isn't that I'm achieving a great deal, or I've got this big plan of I'm setting out goals for myself, which all of that ain't necessarily bad things to do. But I'm just trying to live on intuition, more than logic, more than rationality, because that just don't work for me anymore. I'm tired of letting fear rule my life, and I have no idea what is on the other side of this for me. And as crazy as it seems, I don't really care. The traditional way of living doesn't work for me, never has, don't think it ever will. Instead of letting that fear, instead of feeling like a failure, I just want to go out and live. It's just difficult to explain this. But again, I'm really not trying to explain it in a way. Again, that goes down the road of overthinking. Just shut off that part of my brain, just do, just act. I want to do this. No other reasons not to do this. Well, a million reasons not to. But they're all irrelevant, just do it. And when I talk about just living free and going off actions, I don't just mean hedonism. Our bodies and our minds don't work in a way where you can just do whatever you want, when you want. You need a certain amount of structure through exercise, through eating healthy and healthy mental habits, like not scrolling on social media all day. I found that the more discipline I've applied myself, the more freedom it actually allows me. I spent all my teenage years and most of my 20s as a heavy smoker of both cigarettes and the devil's lettuce and other naughty things. Drinking too much, I'd eat nothing but junk food. And really made myself a prisoner in my own body and mind. Addicted to different substances, like the green and the cigarettes. And those things would then rule my life and dictate what I could do. And then getting away from that and then getting healthy, it's actually allowed me a lot more freedom in all other aspects of my life. I've always enjoyed being outside and hiking. But when you're 40, 50 kilos overweight and you're smoking 20 odd a day, it limits what you can do. But now, since applying that discipline to my life with my exercise and my diet, it now gives me the freedom to actually go out and do those things that I want to do. So yeah, I don't just mean hedonism, eat what you want, whenever you want. Also, you have to have a bit of consideration for others. There's that hedonistic side of you that will just think, screw everybody else, just do what's right for me. And that's, again, it's not a right way to live. Although you can't take on other people's baggage, there's a responsibility you have in just having good interactions with other people. It's not just you on this world, we're all sharing it. And deliberately making other people's lives more difficult for your own benefit, which sadly seems to be a more common thing in today's society. Just get yours by any means necessary. The amount of, I mean, I get scam phone calls nearly every day as people are happy just to take what they can off people. This attitude of, as long as I get mine, screw everybody else. And that's, I mean, if you've got any sort of conscience, I know I can't live like that. If I upset somebody else, even if it's not intentional, it in turn upsets me, and I don't want to live like that. So I do my best to put a bit of positive energy into the world. Just smiling at a stranger, saying hello, good day, just being polite and nice. It's as simple as just trying not to be a prick, really. But a lot of people nowadays really struggle with that concept. I am waffling on. This makes sense in my head, but when I try and articulate it to this camera, I sound like a complete moron. Not that I'm not a complete moron. So I suppose, to summarise what I'm trying to say, I'm not doing the best job at it. It's just go out and live your life. Your time's your most valuable thing. Tomorrow's never promised. And if you're living in a way that ain't making sense to you, if you feel trapped, if you feel suffocated, just let go. Stop making excuses and just go out and live. There is so much beauty in this world if you allow yourself to open up to it. Stop living by everybody else's rules and expectations. Set high standards for yourself, but they're your standards. It's what's important to you, it's your values, and apply that discipline in living by those values. But if you're in a situation like I was, stop feeling sorry for yourself, stop blaming the rest of the world, politicians, whoever else, family. Take some responsibility and go out and start crafting the life that you want to live. Again, in doing that, you're going to find a million reasons why you shouldn't. But the only reason that really matters is that if you're not happy now and you don't change nothing, the chances of you being happy later are non-existent. So just take that risk. Let go of all that baggage and just go out and start living. And that's going to look different to everybody. Everybody has different hopes and dreams. That might be, getting in a relationship. Just go out and ask somebody out, or online, or whatever. Stop telling yourself, oh, if I just need to do this, because I did that for ages. Or if I just get in shape, or get more money, if I get that car, if I get that house. Just making excuse after excuse and never actually doing it. Just let it go, all of it, and just start taking action. Maybe that's, get in a relationship, maybe that's travel, maybe that's go after the job you want, maybe it's get in shape. There's no such thing as a perfect time to start. Well, there is a perfect time to start, and it's right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Just start, change your mindset, change your focus, and just start taking action in all aspects of your life. Again, I've lived with crippling anxiety since a child, really. It's always stopped me from doing stuff, doing anything. And after hitting that point that I hit last year, which I wouldn't wish on anybody, don't let yourself get that far. But it's really helped me reframe my life and find what's important. And as tough as last year was, it was the most impactful and profound experience of my life. And I plan on just going out and acting and living, shutting off that dominant part of my brain, which is just filled with excuses or not to do stuff. Just shutting it all down and just going out and doing. I want to travel, book a ticket. It's all the thinking that you need to do. To worry about all the logistics. I mean, everything that's going on in the world right now, it's the likelihood of me getting stranded in an airport somewhere, or again, a million reasons why I shouldn't do it, and only one reason why I should. And just go out and live. I say I'm not a rich man by any means. I have a little bit of savings, which was meant to be my house deposit, which I plan on just rinsing through. Maybe I'll end up homeless, but I know I can't continue doing what I'm doing. So my inspiration for doing this is, well, it's what I wanted to do. Travel has always been something that's really interested me. And I also watch a few YouTubers, people like Nomad Sam springs to mind. There's also another fellow autistic people, and it's all people that have decided that the traditional way of doing things ain't right for them, and they've made that leap into doing something else, and that's really what's inspired me to do this. So Nomad Sam definitely sticks out in mind, but there's quite a few others as well. Carl Piddock, a few other travel vloggers that I follow. Some of the van life people, although I can't really afford to get a van, so never mind. So yeah, if you've made it this far through this incoherent rant, thank you for watching. And I guess I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves.